give different perspectives on real life issues with transparency. Now, do you need more exposure? Let us help you. If you like to be a guest on our podcast show, inbox us at face-to-face-podcast21@gmail.com, or you can inbox us on our Facebook page, Face to Face with Gerald and Regina, or you can also email glperson76@gmail.com. Please also visit our YouTube channel, Face to Face with Gerald and Regina. Please like, subscribe, and share. So,
yes,
you ready for today's topic?
Let's do it. Let's get it in.
We have a great topic this afternoon, and it is very much needed. Oh my gosh. And the topic is how to handle the pressures of life. And that's a lot.
That's a lot.
We're going to tackle some of it today, but how to handle the pressures of life. And we have a beautiful special guest with us today that's going to join us. And I'm going to give this mic to Gerald so he can introduce her. So,
listen, the woman of God that we're about to bring forward, she's very knowledgeable of what she's doing. She's very knowledgeable of what's going on. And she a little country girl. I'll say that. She a country girl, but she's very smart at what she does.
the country.
She's been through hell and high water. She's been through hell and high water. She's been to hell and back. I'll put it to you like that. And I'm going to do something really, really quick and really, really fast. She's a very good friend of mine's. I believe she's from, I don't want to, no, you know, I ain't finna say where she's from because she done lived everywhere. I'll say it like that. She done lived everywhere, y'all. So I ain't going to say where she from, but she done lived everywhere. But I'm going to allow her to come forward to introduce herself and to talk about various ministries that she's a part of and some of her businesses that she has going. All right. And we have with us LaShonda Shaw. Are you there? Is that what you were talking about? Huh.
Don, I am L.R. Shaw.
There we
Yes.
go. Start over again if you can. Start over if you can. Start over again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am L.R. Shaw. Many people know me as L.R. My close friends and family know me as LaShonda. I am your friend, your girl, your confidant.
All right now.
I'm living currently in Knoxville, Tennessee. Like Gerald said, I've been some of everywhere, but now I am currently living in Knoxville, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you all for having me.
So, if you could, are you taking any ministry engagements right now?
I am.
Okay. Tell them how they can get in touch with you. Yeah, tell them how they can get in touch with you.
You can get in contact with me via email at kvanglobal, that's KVAN global, GLOBAL, @gmail.com. Or you can call or text me at 919-283-2336. Or you can look me up on Facebook at LR Shaw 3907 or L.R.Shaw.
Okay, cool. Well, we finna dive right into this topic. You ready, Regina? Let's do it.
Yes. Let's
you ready
do
in?
this.
Let's get it in.
So the topic is how to handle the pressures of life.
Yes.
How to handle
How
the
to
pressures.
handle the pressures, not depression, the pressures of life. All right.
All right. And you know what? I'm going to throw out the scripture here. before we get into it. 1 Peter 5:7, and I'm going to read the King James Version. It says, cast all your cares upon him, for he careth for you. And then I'm going to read the Amplified Version, because I really love the Amplified Version. It says, casting all cares, all your anxieties, all your worries,
Yes.
and all of your concerns once and for all
Yes.
on him,
Yeah.
for he cares about you with his deepest affection and watches over you carefully. So I thought I had to
what
throw
it
that
say.
in there.
That's what the word
That's what the
says.
word
And that's one of my
says.
favorite scriptures too.
Yes.
Casting your cares upon him.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what the
Did you
word
wanna-
says. So when you talk about the pressures of life, and if I'm stepping in the area where Shonda, if you don't want to go, just veer off and go another direction, and I'll catch it really quick. When I look at you and I think about you and your life, the things that you've been through, the things that you have shared with me concerning when your mom passed away. When your mom passed away and you still having to do ministry, people still calling you to pray for them.
Yeah.
You still have to get on the floor with people and do deliverance and stuff like that. And then you still have to, go home and scoop your own self up off the floor.
Yeah.
And then still deal with, job transition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. My mom, she's been gone 2 years now. And when she passed, the only thing I knew to do was do ministry.
Yep.
Because
Cover it up.
she wasn't just my mother, she was my prayer partner, she was my best friend, my confidant, and so we did ministry together. So the thing for me was to just continue to do ministry. I didn't think about stopping. I didn't think about taking time for myself. I just went head into ministry.
Yeah.
Was that healthy? No, it wasn't, because when someone passes in your life, you need time to
grieve.
To grieve and heal, scream, frozen.
grieve. I did not. Ministry. Taking calls, taking engagements, just ministry.
Yeah.
And when I came home at night after work and after ministry and dealing with people and, being a coach and a counselor and in ministry, people call you 24/7. They don't consider that you may be home resting. They don't consider that you might be taking a nap. They don't consider any of that. They call you when they need you. When they need prayer, they call. They don't care what time it is. They call.
They don't matter.
So I had to learn how to grieve properly. I had to learn how to take time for Shonda. I had to learn how to take time for me, how to step back and have boundaries also.
Yeah.
And that was hard because, that's all I do. When you're single, you're married to the gospel.
Yeah.
And so, and so that's what I did. I ministry. And so a year and a half into this, the Lord said, I need for you to step back. And that was the hardest thing for me to do, was step back. Because when I step back, then I get to feel all the feelings of grieving her and missing her and her not being there. And so really what I had to do was just sit in it.
Wow.
I had to be honest with myself and say, I'm not okay. And I think in ministry, people tend to forget that leaders cannot be okay.
Yeah.
We can say I'm not okay, and it's not a weakness for us.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not being weak. We're human.
Yeah.
And so I had to start learning how to live life without this person that I've been used to all my life being there, how to live life without her.
Yeah.
And so that was a transition. That was a process. It was hard.
Yeah.
But because I'm transparent about my whole life. I'm transparent about being molested. I'm transparent about, you know, all these things. I could be transparent with saying I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And being not okay, you need a village. You need a community. You need a support system.
You know,
that's going to be able to be there with you and just sit and let you cry and just sit and let you just vent and say what you miss about her and talk about memories and just be okay with just being there. You know, losing people and being, you know, people say, well, I know how you feel, but every individual death is different.
Yeah.
And so every individual relationship is different. So I've learned in this not to say I know how you feel, but I've been there before.
Exactly.
And so through that, you know, people will say, you know, listen to memory, you know, think about memories of her and you'll feel better. And I think about memories of her and I don't feel better because I'm like, I wish she was here, you know.
That don't feel good. Yeah.
Laugh.
Yeah.
When I think about her because she was a very funny person. So it wasn't a time when she wasn't joking around or, you know, she would be serious, but my mom, she always had laughter and had a smile on her face.
Yeah, she did.
So, so I learned how to laugh in the midst of grieving. I've learned how to have fun in the midst, because life happens, okay?
Life be life.
Life happens.
It be lifing for real.
And so, I said
life, it be lifing.
Yeah, life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens to all of us.
All of us.
It may look different, but one thing I understand is life pressures can form from two types. And that's events that we cannot change because life happens, and your expectations about events, people, things, and places. So, and then I'm learning, and I have learned that through the pressures of life, we can't have some expectations on people.
That's right.
Because we can't expect people to do the things that we would do.
That's right.
We can have expectations about places or things because things happen.
That's right.
And so if we keep these expectations, what begins to happen is when events happen and it's not what we expected, we get disappointed.
That's right.
And so we allow different attitudes and different responses to hit us, and we get in a bad place. We start getting depressed, you know, and yes, you know, people in the body of Christ, plenty of us in the body of Christ get depressed, deal with depression. Yeah. And we don't talk about those things. And we deal with depression because of the pressures of life. Yeah. And so that's why I encourage a lot of people, go to counseling. Counseling is okay.
I promise you it's okay.
I promise you it is.
And God made counseling.
He made it. It ain't gonna hurt you. That don't mean that you don't have a relationship with God, or you weak, or you know, or anything like that, or you ain't saved, and you know, it doesn't mean that. You just need some help.
Yes, because the mindset in the body of Christ for so long was, the Holy Spirit is my counselor. Yes, he is. Yeah. Yes, Jesus sent the Holy Spirit to be our counselor, our comforter, all of those things. But if you can go to the doctor and get checkups, you can go to a counselor and get checkups and release emotions that torment your mind.
That's right. That's right.
You can get to the root of it too. Yeah.
Go ahead. You got something?
Yeah. I pretty much in the same situation as her. My mom passed away about 2 years ago, but she was in another country, so we had to fly her back over here. She was in Costa Rica, and at the time, I was in the midst of doing a book and then starting businesses. So I'm good at multitasking. So my way of dealing with it was just working and working and working. And I do get what you're saying as far as you have to step back and take time for yourself, because I know what I would do is I would check in with my sister and my brother and ask them how they're feeling, because I don't want, everybody deals with grief differently. And I literally had to reflect. I really had to step back and be like, I'm not okay. And it's okay to say I'm not okay.
It is.
Definitely okay.
It is okay to say you.
And what I normally do
and
is,
that's so true. I'm the oldest of 11.
Ooh.
So definitely having to check in with my brothers and sisters. And not only that, they didn't just lose a mother, they've also lost a father.
Wow.
So I'm the one that has my mother that has my father, and they don't have a mother or a father. So then it comes on the pressures of, okay, I'm your sister, I'm not your parent. I can't take that role of your parent. So how do I function as your sister, but also make sure that I'm checking in and make sure I'm not being that mother figure also, because I'm nurturing and I'm very motherly. So I had to make sure that I set boundaries, even when I talk to my brothers and sisters, that I didn't overstep, and for them not to be like, you're not mom or nothing like that. So learning how to also help them to deal with the grief.
And that's good.
Because everybody is different.
That's good. And I mean, when you talk about the pressures of life, and you just said it a few minutes ago, life itself, it can be kind of overwhelming. It can be hard sometimes. For instance, not trying to bring me into, the conversation, but, me going through a divorce, stuff like that, people sowing discord, people lying, people sabotaging ministry engagements, and, people that know me and know my heart and know my spirit knew it was a lie, but they still indulged in it, and they still, allowed it to come to them. And, it's, with that being said, that's, I said, ministry has always been my heart, and that's something I've always desired to do, and I do it. But I said, but at the same time, the pressures of life, man, it gets hard. It gets hard. It gets hard at times. Even ministry, or either you're not in ministry, it don't matter. Either you can be on a job, on the verge of losing the job. You can be going through something at home, and then on top of that, going through a financial situation. You can be going through something mentally, and then on top of that, you lose a family member or something like that. And I say, and sometimes that's all you have is a prayer, and that's it. And sometimes it seems like the more you pray, the worse it get. You got something?
No, I'm just listening, you guys. Dealing with the pressures of life. There's nothing wrong with praying. But what happens when people don't have a prayer life, or they don't go to church?
They don't go to church. They don't know God.
Who can they confide in? So I do believe that if you have a confidant, or if you, like you said earlier, if you seek therapy, go to counseling, and just try to get to the root of the matter, that would help out a lot. So,
because she gone. Okay. But I said, because what I found out is people will quickly tell you, well, you know what, just pray about it. Sometimes, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pray about it, but then, because you may not be in that place of a relationship with God.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You may not be the one to say, all right, I'm just gonna pray about it. But then, okay, you just may not be in that space with God. I'll say it like that, because sometimes people are and sometimes people are not.
Yeah.
But when you're in that place with God, like that, sometimes that's the only thing that you need to do is pray. Nothing else, because sometimes God won't let you do nothing else if you just, how can I say it? Sometimes God won't allow you to do anything else, won't allow anything else to come in and change the situation.
Unless you pray.
Unless you pray.
And sometimes you can't pray.
Yeah. And that's what we were saying.
Sometimes you can't.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't. Yeah. And
sometimes you can't, and that doesn't make you not a believer. That doesn't make you that doesn't say you don't have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
Because I can be a secret every day, but when life happens, sometimes you just can't pray.
You just
And
can't.
the only thing that I can do is just worship him.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I literally I say, and I just be like, you know my heart. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Like I
Yeah.
literally can't pray.
Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes, truth be told, since we being transparent, sometimes I don't even want to pray.
I want to pray. Yeah. Just.
I don't even want. I'm like, Lord, I'm tired of talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of talking about this, Lord. I'm like, Lord, I know you can do it. Lord, come on
No,
now.
I felt like that.
What you say, Regina? You
No,
say you
I
felt like that?
Yeah. And and then our audience would like to think everybody's spiritual and they're a believer, but then also with her coming back on, I was saying that of course those of us that are saved, we can go to God, our advocate, we can pray, but then those that don't, they're not. They don't believe in God. They can always seek counseling, and that's what I was saying before you went in and out. There are some people that our audience said they believe in something else other than God, but they still are dealing with the pressures of life. So in that case, they can either speak with a confidant or they can get counseling. They can seek therapy and seek help. So
now, Shonda, if I'm not mistaken, that's something that you offer, counseling, right? Or is it life coaching?
I do.
Which one is it?
I offer inner healing coaching.
Okay.
Regarding life issues. I have a course that's called Life Redefined, and it's spelled LYFE, loving you forever and ever.
Okay. Now, how can they get in touch with you for that if they want to get involved with you on that?
Well, they can go to my inbox at l.r.shaw on Facebook, or they can email me at sytcf2f@gmail, and that's speak your truth face to face at gmail.com.
Okay.
Got you. And it's and the good thing about it is it's good to have somebody to talk to, because it's been times, even in ministry or just life, I'll say life, where I thought I was going to lose my mind. I thought I was going to lose my mind because sometimes life is just, I'm like, it's just too much. I can't deal with it. It's just too much.
Yeah.
I just thought it's been times where I thought I was going to lose my mind. Or I was just like, all right, y'all, listen here. Let me step back a little bit. This time I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it all together. I don't have the answers. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I'm supposed to go to the left. I don't know if I'm supposed to go to the right. No, I don't want to ask you because I cannot trust you because I cannot trust you. I can't trust your opinion because your opinion is clouded. The things that you say is clouded. So let me do this. Let me pull myself back. Let me pull myself back and let me analyze this thing and let me get somewhere and let me pray and let me talk to God how I talk to him. I don't need you telling me how to do it. But sometimes it just begins to be too much.
Yeah.
It
can be.
And can I just say to everyone that's watching, it's okay to say I'm not okay.
That's right.
Most
definitely. I promise
it's
you
okay.
it is. It is.
It's okay to say right now I'm not in that place. I can't deal with it.
I can't.
It doesn't
and
mean
I
you're
think
not
a lot
a believer.
of times, especially with us, a lot of us being like Superman and Superwoman, people think that we can just take. But there is a point where we have to say, I can't take anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that, especially if they see you as a Superwoman or a Superman.
Yeah.
They think, well, you got this. You can take it. You can take it. I'm like, I can't today. Just not with it today.
Today,
and
I
it's
can't
okay
take it.
to say that.
Yeah.
I can remember 12 years ago, and I know we were talking about the pressures of life. 12 years ago, I lost my great grandmother that raised me. 2 weeks later, I lost my stepfather. I was in a car accident, and I was misplaced from the church that I was in for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah. It's a hard
all
situation.
happened within 2 months.
That's a hard situation. It's
I
a
went
hard
through church
situation.
hurt. I went through prosecution, people talking about me, everything.
Been there.
Yeah, been there. That's a hard situation.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to
It all
bounce back
happened
from it.
in 2 months.
It's crazy.
Now, some people will be like, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even lie. I did.
Yeah.
I didn't know, especially being displaced from a place that you've been in for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. And my first thought at that time was, I'm done.
Forget it. I'm finna go right back to the world.
I'm done. I love God, but I'm done with church.
I'm done with
And
y'all,
there are
Nick
many
Rose.
people out
Forget
there
you.
that are watching the broadcast and said the same thing. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna step foot in
I done
another
been there.
church. I'm
Been there.
over it.
Been
You
there.
know,
Actually done that.
and
For a minute. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I did for a whole year. I didn't step foot in a church. God was like, you can't do this. And I'm just like, but God, they hurt me. But
Yeah,
God, they
for real.
this. But God, they that. But, you know, I feel this way. I feel that way. I'm not going back to nowhere. You know, I don't want to hear nobody prophesy to me. I don't want to hear
I don't
nobody.
want to hear that.
I'm just being honest. I didn't want to hear none of that.
I don't want to hear no good preaching.
know,
I don't want
Then
to.
I ended up in a
I don't.
relationship.
No.
Then I ended up in a relationship engaged to a man that God said was not my husband. And I
Lord.
still stayed in the relationship until I ended it 11 days before the wedding.
Yeah.
Ooh.
People play too much. Nick Rose play too much. I'm sorry, Kat. I know you know. I'm sorry. Nick Rose play too much. Folk play too much. This thing is real. Life be lifing. Life be lifing, and it is what it is. Folks, they be like want to play like they super spiritual and deep all the time. I'm like, listen here, say, man, listen. I've been in this thing for a long time, but maybe I don't have it like you have it. You know, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. But in the meanwhile, listen, I'm not there. I'm not there. When stuff bothers me, listen, it bothers me.
Yeah.
I said, now, do I go on Facebook and type it? No, I don't. But do I have people that I can turn to and just let me just be myself? Yes, I do. But in the meanwhile, no, I don't. Some stuff, like you said, Shonda, you just can't deal with it. It just be too much.
You just have to.
But Joe, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't know how to deal when life happens like that. When, like you said, when life be lifing.
It be
people
lifing.
don't know how to deal with it, how to respond to
Yeah,
it.
for
You
real.
know, we go on Facebook and, you know, we type it out and we do videos about it, but is that how we should do it? Like,
exactly.
I'm a firm believer in that.
Exactly.
I'm just letting people know you're going through something.
For real. Exactly.
I mean, they have a whole video week.
A whole slew of it. Like, oh, okay, then we'll go ahead on. I don't know how this helping you, but go ahead.
But when I say counseling is everything, counseling is everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because on those days that somebody done got on my last nerve, I can go my counselor that week and be like, look, just lay it all out on the table.
For real, this is what's going
Or
on.
I journal.
Yeah.
I do a lot of journaling.
Yeah.
I write down my thoughts and I read it back to myself.
Really?
I even have a talk to myself. Okay. I look in the mirror and I talk to myself like, look, Shaw.
Yeah.
Now, this person, they might not have done it. You know, they might not have come to you like they should have.
Yeah.
But you can't go country out on them, okay? Because I go country on people. You can't go country on people.
I told y'all she was a little country girl. So let me...
but I'm learning, and God is teaching me how to communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
If things are bothering me, if someone said something that bothered me, I'm learning, and the Holy Spirit and God is teaching me how to go to that person.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not with my neck rolling.
Don't.
Not with my eyes rolling.
Because you ain't going to get the outcome you want.
Here, we're mature.
We're
supposed to be mature.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's teaching me how to go and communicate.
Yeah.
We lack healthy communication in relationships, whether it's intimate relationship, friendship relationship, co-worker relationship, whatever it is, we lack healthy communication.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I'm not overstepping, am I, Regina?
No.
Okay, because you took your glasses off. So
No, I'm just enjoying
so
this.
let me ask you this. What would you say to someone that's how can I say? What would you say to someone that's possibility going through relationships and possibility being been laid off their job, and going through relationship battles as well?
Well, let me just start with being laid off your job.
Mm-hmm.
Because that happened to me June of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sudden. Wasn't expecting it. And at that time, again, I was still in grief mode of
Wow.
my mother. So losing a
Wow.
job is considered,
Yeah.
is considered separation. So that's
Yeah.
considered grieving. For the first week, I felt myself going into depression.
Wow.
At first, it was just like, okay, this just happened.
Yeah.
And then I literally was going to my aunt's funeral when they called me to tell me that I would no longer be working where I was working.
Wow.
So it was just like, okay, God, what's going on here?
And you still had to smile.
And I just talk to God like that. I don't be all deep and wonderful.
And
I talk to him just like I talk to y'all.
Exactly.
I'm talking to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And you still
And
had to
so,
put a smile on your face. Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
And so I
Better than me, 'cause
so
I
that
do rocks
first
in
week
my
I
job.
felt myself going into depression and I stopped. And I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I was
for
just
real.
like, you know what? I'm gonna get up, take a shower,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna find me a job.
Yeah.
This is not gonna get me.
Yeah.
You have to speak positive because we understand that life and death is in the power of the tongue.
That's right.
And a lot of times, because when things happen negative, we tend to speak negative about it.
Wow.
And so I began to speak and decree and declare over my life what it was going to be.
Now, do you have to be saved and have a relationship with God to do that?
Do you have to be saved to have a relationship with God to
No.
do it?
Do you have
over-
to be saved and have a relationship with God to be able to speak over your own life?
Anybody can speak over their life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because some of our viewers and listeners, they save, but they kind of on the fence with it, which we don't judge nobody at the same time. But it is what it is.
And then we have some viewers that just don't believe in God.
They just don't believe in God at all, and they don't want to have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So which that's
Being honest.
that's their personal preference.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't judge nobody. I don't talk about nobody. I'm trying to make it to
That's
heaven
true.
myself. So,
It's true.
yeah.
But I know, and I can only speak for what works for me.
Yeah.
Everything, different things work for different people.
Yeah.
So what worked for me was getting myself up, taking a shower, and decreeing and declaring over my life what was going to be. And from June to August, I was without a job. But let me tell you, God provided all of my needs.
Wow.
All
That's
of
how you
my
do it.
needs.
That's how
I
you do
didn't
it.
want for anything.
That's how you
He
do it.
provided from June to August and then on.
Yeah.
He provided for me.
Mhm.
Rent, he
Amen.
provided. Light bill, he provided everything for me.
That's how you
People
do
were
it.
sending me money,
That's how
handing me
God do it.
money. When they say men shall give unto your bosom, that's what was happening.
Mhm.
God was blessing
He sent a
me.
raven to
And
take care of you.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. He was blessing me. And then I had 2 job offers, great jobs,
Wow.
great money. And they descended the offer
Wow.
a week later.
Wow.
And I was just like, what is going on? Like, they wouldn't give me a reason why they descended the offer. They descended the offer. So I was like, okay. And one morning I was just worshiping. Wasn't
Wow.
praying per se, just worshiping God, just telling him how much I loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in relationship with God, it's not just, I want to see your hand all the time. I want to see your face.
That's
Mhm.
right.
I want to commune with him. I want to be intimate with
Mhm.
him. Just like in an intimate relationship, You want to be
That's right.
intimate with that person. You encourage them. You
That's right.
affirm them. You tell them how much you love them.
That's right.
So that's what I was doing with God that morning. And all of a sudden, one of my friends called and she was just like, well, the temp service called me and said they needed a receptionist. She was like, can I give them your name? And I was like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
She gave them my name. They called me. I went to interview that day. The next day I was hired. That was a Friday I was hired. That Monday I started as a temp. That next Friday I became permanent.
That's where he do it.
Amen. Before we go any further, I just wanted to address, and either Gerald or yourself. I have someone in the comments, and I just want one of you guys to address them. The first thing that they said was, I am not in that place, and I'm tired of hiding behind a mask. I'm not going to call their name. And then also, I've been told I will never be enough.
Go ahead, Shaw. You can deal with it. Go ahead.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was told that I would never be enough.
Swallow. That's a hard pill to swallow when somebody tell you that.
I was rejected.
Yeah.
And I was abandoned.
Yeah.
And
abandonment.
What you have to do is
Yeah.
you have to look at yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hardest thing for us to do is take a mirror and look at the mirror.
Exactly.
And in one of my classes, I use that exercise where I have mirrors and have people look in the mirror and tell me who you see.
That's right. Yeah.
Not who anybody else has told you to be,
Mm-hmm.
but who do you see?
That's right.
And a lot of times when we look in this mirror, we see the negativity. We see the insecurities.
Wow.
We see the weaknesses. We see all these things that people have been telling us because we believe it now.
Yeah.
So that's what we see.
Yeah.
But the truth is you're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is that you are authentic. God made each and every one of us different. You are authentic.
That's right.
You might be different. You might not do things like anybody else, and that is okay.
And that's okay.
You have to learn how to love yourself before you accept anybody else's love.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's the hardest thing to do when you already think that you're not enough.
Wow.
I just want to tell you that you are more than enough.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. For
God
real.
thought you were more than enough when he gave his son Jesus to die on the cross for you.
For real, for real.
When he took prosecution, when he took stripes on his back, you were more than enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was last week. This was last week. I was going through something, I had to literally tell myself, I had to look in the mirror. I had to look in the mirror and tell myself, Gerald, you the next best thing to sliced bread.
Yeah.
You off the chain.
Boasting.
It ain't boasting. No. I was trying to pick myself up.
Yourself.
Exactly. I was lifting myself up, affirming myself. I had to tell myself, say, man, you the next best thing to sliced bread. It don't get no better than you. I'm serious. I had to tell myself that because I was in a situation mentally. Mentally, not saying I'm crazy, but I was in a situation mentally and I was up against the fence with something. And I'm like, man, I got all this stuff going on. I got this, I got that, I got this. I said, I thank God for it. I said, but it ain't quite going in the direction that I wanted to go in. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I said, it wasn't depression, but it was like a pity party. It was a pity party that tried to come see about me. And I had to look in the mirror. I had to tell myself, man, you the next best thing smoking.
Yeah.
It don't get no better than you.
Yeah.
I say you the smartest, you the most handsomest. I say you dress nice, you smell good. Even though you're bald headed, you ain't got no hair. You're a good looking man. I'm serious. I had to tell myself that you're a good looking man.
Yeah.
Now I said, now my wife, she always tell me that, but and I appreciate it, and I do. I appreciate it. I Lord knows I do. I definitely appreciate it, but at the same time, it be a lot of times. Say, man, I have to pull my own self. Say, man, listen, come on, let's go. Get up off that couch, get up out that seat. Come on, get up off that desk and go on out there and make yourself available.
Yeah, I know. I know. For me, I think this week has been very, very trying.
Yeah.
To the point where, we get like that, and I'm like, Lord, what's going on? And I really don't want to come out of the character for no one.
For real.
So what I
Yeah.
normally do, and just me being transparent, is I will refrain. And then I know sometimes people are like, well, why are you isolating yourself? Well, I think I have to do that just so I can hear from God more.
Yeah.
And then just take a seat back and just kind of reflect. And that's a time for me to be silent. I always tell people to move in silence.
That's
When
right.
you're going through things, you don't go on social media. You don't, just move in silence. So I know for me, it's been very trying. And there are times where I have to go so much in the mirror. But I know when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I literally take a step back and I'm like, okay, you got this. All right, Lord, what's going on? I need your help. And I don't do, people, I don't know why people think when you pray to God, they got to be really holy. The way I'm talking, I'm like, Lord, I didn't like the way they came at me. You going to have to fix this before I put somebody in the headlock. And I'm being serious.
For real.
And then people, when they hear you speak like that, oh, you're not saved. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
We are.
Yes,
this
I
is
am.
a natural feeling. Of course, we have to mortify the deeds of our flesh.
That's right.
But
Because if I say what I want to say, you
ain't gonna like
it.
it.
You ain't
So,
gonna like it. So
I know for me,
let me deal with me.
I have to reframe so I can hear from God. I'm like, okay, y'all leave me alone.
For real, for real.
So no, I understand. So
It gets hard. Life be lifing. And when I said when life start lifing, and I had, like you said, you have to step back, sit down, take a rest, and just chill out for a moment. Chill out for a moment.
Do something fun.
Do some self-care. I'm big on self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah. Like I have a movie, sometimes, especially when you be lifing. When you be lifing and, finances is not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
You feel like you can't do things, but you really can do things inexpensive.
Yeah.
Even if it's just walking in the park.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just saying that. Take a walk.
Walking by some water.
Exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Regina said she want to go kayaking. I don't know who black to do that.
Okay, so black folks do. Okay.
Black folks don't do
Engineer,
that.
do you do kayaking? You don't need that. Oh, I'm the only one.
No.
Gerald
Said
saying
kayaking.
black folks
Not
don't
still now,
canoe.
so we go walking
They don't
in the
kayak.
mountains and stuff, so.
He said might go
Seem
hiking.
like, okay, so
Man,
so everybody
it's too
knows
hot.
I'm not originally from Texas. I'm from Connecticut. Okay, that's the things that we used to do. We used to go on the boat. We used to go fishing, and we used to go kayaking and canoeing. I just asked him. I was like, "Hey, let's go," and he was looking at me like I was crazy. Like black people don't do that.
That's what he said. Let me see. What did Monica
Yes,
say?
we
She
do.
said she go outside, go for a walk. She go to the gym. You got to do something. You
gotta do
can't.
something.
You can't just sit there in your situation.
Yeah.
You cannot do that because that you gonna go crazy. You lose your mind if you just sit there in your situation, knowing that life is hitting you like it's hitting you,
Yeah.
and you can't even think clearly. You can't even think clearly.
You know what we're gonna do real quick? We want to go live. I think we have some time. We want to go live. If you have any comments or if this is a good subject. If you want to call in, you can call in at 469-708-8609. And I did pretty good without my glasses on. Again, 469-708-8609. Please call in.
The phone lines are open, y'all. If y'all want to talk to Shonda, y'all can. Y'all can talk to Shonda. If y'all got a question for one of us or we said something wrong, y'all need to put us in our place. That's fine too. That's fine too.
I know sometimes people be coming in the comments. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, call in.
It's all good. Yeah, just call in.
Call
and say
in
it.
then.
Yeah, call in and say it.
And say it.
But again, like we said, the phone lines are open, y'all.
Yeah.
So the phone lines are open, and I believe the phone number is on the screen. But I mean, life is, it is what it is, and that's why you have to try your very best to make the best out of it. Enjoy life, and just have fun with it. Have fun with life. You just have to, because I mean it's free. It doesn't cost anything. Mm-hmm. You go ahead.
Yeah, we have to have a balance
That's right.
in life.
That's right. You have to have a balance in life. You have to have a balance in life. And I had to learn that, and I learned that from you. As a matter of fact, to have a balance in life and, stop being so spiritual and deep all the time. Always walking in the spirit. That's because I find safety, being like that. But then when I'm like that, I can't see and tell what's going on around me. Something can be going on around me. I don't even know it because I'm so spiritual and I'm being so deep. Just walking with God, spending time with God. I don't even know what's going on around me. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that can't be good because when it's time to communicate, I'm not going to communicate. And that's where my downfall is. And do I have a problem with communication? I don't. But but when I'm flowing in the spirit like that, you're not gonna get a whole lot from me.
And you know what? I'm going to call you Prophetess Shaw.
That's who she is.
Prophetess Shaw. Thank you so much for that response. I'm looking out here. She put, I got myself dressed and came to my little niece party because I was not going to sit in depression today. We don't want you sitting in depression at all. So thank you so much.
When you look good, you feel good.
That's right.
Yes.
Somebody asked, "Can we still call in?" Yes.
Yes.
You can still call in. We got a little bit of time. You can still call in. Okay. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Say that again.
No, I said I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm okay.
That's good. That's good. You have a question for Shonda? For LaShonda?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So basically, to my sister, I just need to ask her.
Okay.
Basically, what can I do when I've been sitting in depression for half of the day,
This is yeah.
and I just decided to step out the house for a little while.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
I said, what can I do when I've been sitting in depression for like half of the day?
Well, the first thing you have to ask yourself, why are you depressed? What is it that's making you sit in the house for half of the day depressed?
Wow, that's good.
And look back at everything that you've been through previously. And see, is it worse than everything that you've been through previously? And then what you need to do is get up, even when you don't feel like it.
Wow.
Put on some music if you need to. Jump up and dance around.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what type of music you listen to. It could be, I listen to some R&B. It could be R&B. It could be gospel, praise music, whatever it is. Start dancing.
Yeah.
Leap for joy.
That's right. Find yourself doing something.
Get some makeup on. If you don't wear makeup, if you don't wear weave, then get yourself dressed and go out and choose, because it's a choice. We have a choice to either lay there and wallow or a choice to get up.
That's right.
It might be hard getting up, but you have to choose what you're going to do. And so choose to get up, shake yourself off, and don't stay in the house depressed.
That's right.
And get help. Get help.
I'm gonna recommend
There's help out there for depression.
Yes. Thank you.
So Shonda, if you can, give your information to this young lady, because I said she may want to connect with you offline.
Okay.
Okay. You want to give her your
All
information?
right. You can inbox me on Facebook at l.r.shaw. That's SHAW. You can inbox me on Messenger, and we can connect. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. God bless you, woman of God.
You're loved.
I think I was just for just being led by the Spirit.
Yeah.
I've been there. with depression. So I know how it feels.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be all right.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna be all right.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
She needs somebody to just listen. She just needs somebody to just listen. You know,
and sometimes we don't listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, we could be crying for help, and people don't pay attention to the cry. Or, you know, sometimes we just need people just to listen and don't say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Don't judge us.
Don't sit and judge.
You know,
So let me ask you this, because I think we're getting ready to come to a close. Okay, we're gonna allow you to have the last words, LaShonda, and I'm gonna ask you this: what would you say? What would you say to someone that's possibility, you know, that struggles with depression, not feeling loved? You know, they might feel like they're ugly, you know, because some people are like that. What would you say? What would you say to somebody like that?
First, I would tell them that they are loved.
Yeah.
And then I would let them know that they're not the only one that deals with depression. Depression is real, there is some clinical depressions.
That's right.
And that's why it's important to seek help. It's important to go to counselors and go to psychiatrists to be able to help with the depression. There's some people who have been in depression since they were younger because of different circumstances and situations that have happened to them in their past.
Wow.
And I always related to the Bible, because the Bible it shows us that we're not the only ones that have been that through things. I share about how there is a choice. When I said before, there's a choice. Either you can lay there or you can get up. Because I think about Tamar, who was violated by her brother. She died. She became desolate and died in her brother's house because she was depressed because of what happened to her, and she did not get up. Wow. You know, there was a day and time where when things happen to you, you can't. You know, it was a lot of judgment and everything like that. So, and then I talk about how, you know, Elijah was depressed and went in the cave and God sent him out the cave.
Yeah.
You know, so there are people, and even in the Bible, that dealt with depression.
Yeah.
There are people in the Bible that dealt with anything that we go through. So we have to find someone, a safe place that we can come and be transparent and allow help to take place in our life.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
You know, I tell people all the time when they come to me, there's a no judgment zone here. You're in a safe place.
Yeah.
Because we have to have, even in relationships, you have to have safe place. You know, your spouse has to be a safe place for you.
That's right.
You know, and so we have to create safe places for people who deal with depression, because it's a real thing, and it's taking over the kingdom of God.
Yes,
it's very
you know,
real.
people are depressed at home and come with a smile, and they still depressed.
Yeah.
And they're crying out, why can't anybody see what I'm going through?
Exactly. You're right.
So I would say get help.
Help is out there.
And it's okay to go get it. Seek help.
It's okay. And it is okay. It doesn't mean that you're not who God said you was. It don't mean that God don't love you. It don't mean that you don't love God. It just simply means what it is. You need some help. It doesn't. And I think that's it. You got anything else you want to add before we close it out?
No, that's it. I really appreciate you so much for coming on here. You've been a great blessing. And then I'm also praying for that young lady that she gets around positive people and that she really seeks the help. And she's going to be okay. She's going to be okay.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Be praying for her. That is it.
All right, then. I think
thank you so much, LaShonda.
Thank you so much. And we will talk to you soon.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Do my glasses.